Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to slowly start. I hope you can smell spring in the air. I certainly can. It is starting to warm up as we slowly, hopefully, getting back to normal. So today we've got our special educator, Jemima, all the way from Melbourne, introducing to us GERnétic's super special products, Mito Special and Veinulo Special. The mic is yours, Jemima.
Thanks, Lydia. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us for two of my most favourite products after Synchro and Cytobi. Let's get straight into it. So firstly, let's have a chat about what actually is a skincare serum. What does it do? Well, it's a product designed to deliver high levels and high concentrations of active ingredients directly into the skin. The serums will generally have a specific task to treat a specific concern and or help improve a skin condition. So potentially think wrinkles, aging, capillary damage, a whole range of things that different serums will be targeted for. Serums are always applied after cleaning the skin and before you put any moisturiser or nourishing creams on. The ingredients in the serums do have a very small molecular weight and size, and because of this is what allows them to penetrate deep into the skin cells to be able to do the job that they're tasked to be performing. The serums can be used in the treatment room professionally, and they ideally will make up part of your client's skincare routine going forward. So if people are asking a bit about some serums are often the missing link in a routine that supports the skin to function at its best and to also ensure the best results from all the other skincare creams that they'll be using after they've used the serum. You might want to think of a serum as a secret weapon for treating skin issues like discoloration, dullness, fine lines, or acne. And then think of the moisturiser or your nourishing cream as the key to hydrating and nourishing the skin. So within GERnétic, we've got the Mito Special Plus and the Veinulo Special Plus that we're covering today. So what is the difference between the two of them? Well, you'll often hear me and Danielle and the others in the office refer to Mito Special Plus as just Mito. And it's designed to activate and wake up the cells of the skin to make sure they're functioning to their optimal level. The Mito Special will actually target the mitochondria of the cell. So think of Mito Special as a real workout for the skin cells. It's getting the activation happening, it's getting them energized and awake. Mito Special can be used on its own as a serum underneath the moisturisers or nourishing creams, but it also can be used as a serum with a mask. So the difference between that and Veinulo Special, where you'll hear us refer to Veinulo Special Plus as just Veinulo or Veinulo Special, its job is designed to target the circulation and it's to get the blood moving, to get the nutrients being delivered and get the oxygen delivered to the skin. The Veinulo Special will also be specific to help any capillary damage to the skin, and that can be on the face and on the body. So think of Veinulo Special as the mover and the shaker of the GERnétic range. It's the vitamin B3 serum. It can be used alone with the creams in the morning or nighttime underneath them, or it also can be used with the mask on a weekly basis. So who is Mito Special Plus for? It really is for all skin types. It's ideally for anyone over the age of 30. It's essential for anyone over the age of 40, and it will help to treat any issues with aging, fine lines and wrinkles, dull and lifeless skin, skin that's congested and sluggish, and any scarring on the face or body that could be old scarring or fairly recent scarring. And who is it not for? So when you're working with Mito Special Plus, you would want to be really careful and stay away from really any skins that have a real compromised skin barrier, any active eczema or any real reactive irritated skin in its actual prime. You can actually start to use Mito Special Plus down the track potentially once the skin is healed or in a better, healthier, stronger condition. So just going back to what we were talking about before, what does Mito Special Plus do? Well, it stimulates and activates the mitochondria to produce the energy within the cells. And the mitochondria, as you know, will often be referred to as the powerhouse of the cell. And without good functioning mitochondria, the skin and the body will not be operating to its prime. So in skincare and in overall health, the optimal mitochondrial function is essential to everything else working correctly, which is why within the genetic skincare range, it has a really strong focus on it being used at the beginning of a facial or any skin treatment, because that will then ensure that the cells are awake and active, ready to receive all the goodness that's about to follow. If the cells aren't awake and active, while those products will still work, they're not going to be working maybe as efficiently as if the mitochondria was actually ready to take it all in. So in saying that, the Mito Special, by targeting the mitochondria, what it will actually help to do to the cell is it'll boost the metabolism, it'll increase the cellular respiration, it'll really encourage that APT, the energy production within the cell directly. And because of this, it'll help to accelerate the regeneration process. And so if the skin's aging or damaged, that's a really good benefit to have. The Mito Special encourages the natural cell desformation process, which will increase the cell turnover. It supports the removal of dead cells, providing softness and comfort without the damage to the skin barrier or compromising the immunity of the skin. That's a real bonus, don't you think? Also within Mito Special, the antioxidants are there because they will help to reduce the damage done by the free radicals and the ROS, the reactive oxygen species. If the mitochondria is defective in any way, the cells will be slow, sluggish, glycation and accelerated aging will occur as a result of this. And nobody wants that. So the benefits. So if you were talking to your clients, talking to your staff, reminding yourself about what does Mito Special Plus do, it allows the uptake and utilization of all the nutrients in all the genetic products. It'll help to diminish the appearance of wrinkles and helps to restore the elasticity. It'll help to stimulate the oxygen and get that moving to the surface of the skin. It'll actually help boost the cellular growth of the fibroblasts. It's got the antioxidants, as we just talked about, to help fight the free radical damage. It works to reduce the appearance of old and new scars. And it'll give the skin that absolutely fresh, radiant feel when it's used in conjunction with the mask. And in fact, when that step is done, the Mito Special Plus and the Immuno Mask together, people will often say, oh, that feels like you've exfoliated my skin, without actually doing that. So that's why I can replace the need for exfoliation. It's a real preventative step for people under the age of 30. For anyone over the age of 40, it must be a part of their home care routine. And that will assure that it will assist the cells to be energized and to utilize all the ingredients. Overall, the Mito Special Plus, because of the energy production in the cells to the skin, will then actually improve the glow and the vitality of the skin. So what are some of the ingredients that are allowing this to actually happen? Well, the peptides, like in all the genetic products, are really important, and they're selected on purpose for what they're going to be able to help do to the skin to activate that energy and the metabolism and to directly target the mitochondria. So think of the amino acids that we've got some listed there. They're all a component that will actually target the mitochondria energy production directly. They'll act as messengers to stimulate collagen. Then we've got the selenium tuberosum, which is a vegetal glycoprotein, and it comes directly from an extract of potato. This will help stimulate the cell renewal. It encourages the skin to nourish and repair. It's got that real hydrating effect on the skin, and it stimulates the epidermal cells and the dermal fibroblasts. The Mito Special also contains the vitamin B7, which we know is biotin. And the reason that's in there is that's really important to help metabolize the fats, the carbohydrates, and the proteins within the cell to assist in the energy being produced. So fully loaded. Okay, so how do we use the Mito Special? So when you're at home and when you're in the salon, you've got a few different ways to actually do this. Sorry, I'll go back to that one. So weekly at home, the clients could be using the serum and a mask together. That's a perfect world scenario. So 1 to 3 times a week, on a clean skin, they would spray the Mito Special directly onto their face and they would rub it in. After that, they would apply a thin layer of immuno mask, leave it on for 5 to 10 minutes, and they would remove it with a warm face cloth, and then they would apply the rest of their products. If they wanted to use it daily, there is a way that it can be done, and it can be used daily as a part of a treatment program. So say, for example, you have a client coming into you that's got aging on the skin that hasn't been doing targeted aging. They could actually be using the Mito Special every morning under their treatment creams. Once they've done that maybe for a month or two, then they could drop the Mito Special back to using it maybe every second or third day as part of their ongoing regular skin routine. Day 2 at home, they would apply their glycofibro, do all their cleansing, then they would apply the serum all over their face and neck and décolletage, and then they would follow that up with their treatment creams and all their nourishing creams that they're using. In a perfect world, these would be used in the morning. But for some people, if the routine only allows them to do it at night time, that's completely fine, whatever's going to best suit their schedule. In the salon, as part of the treatment, you'd be doing the cleanse and preparing with glyco and fibro. It's optional to exfoliate here. And we would really encourage you to only be doing an exfoliation if the skin really needs it, not just because it's part of a routine or a step that you're used to doing. Because you'll be amazed if you haven't been doing this, going straight from the cleansing to the Mito Special and Immuno and having that on the skin for 5 or 10 minutes within the salon with the foil. Once you remove that, the skin will feel and look like you've actually exfoliated, only you've got the benefit to the cells actually being activated and woken up. So there is a real benefit to doing that in the salon and leaving out the exfoliation step if the skin doesn't require it. Within the salon, you could probably use anywhere between 6 and 12 sprays to cover the whole face and neck and décolletage. And then you would apply the immuno mask over it. You can put some eye mask around the eye area and put the polyester foil all over. Anywhere between 8 to 15 minutes is what you would need to leave it on for, depending on the structure of your facials, the costing of your facials as to how much time and how much product you'd be using. Like any mask, you would then just remove it with your wet fibrella or a warm compress and then follow on with the rest of the facial. So then with Veinulo Special, who is that for? So think of Veinulo Special as also being appropriate for all skin types. Think of the clients that you know that have that real dull, lifeless skin and needs a real energy, a vitality boost. Anyone who has issues with poor circulation, cuperose issues, broken veins and capillary damage, redness, any sort of that redness and congestion, even potentially for people with the rosacea, spots right across the middle of their face, it's perfect for. And for people that have the spider veins and varicose veins and capillary damage on the legs or body, this can also be used there. A bit like Mito Special, in who Veinulo Special is not for, anyone with brand new sensitivity or reactivity or damaged skin barrier, compromised skin barrier in any way, we would suggest you would follow the protocol of healing and strengthening the barrier first with the Synchro and Cytobi before you introduce this, because this would be too active for a damaged skin barrier. And what does Veinulo Special do? Well, it does a lot of stuff, a bit like the mitochondria and how it will benefit the skin. But the Veinulo Special will help to restructure the capillary walls directly. And it also helps to increase the skin immunity. It boosts the cellular respiration because it helps to contribute to the oxygen being transported. It really helps to reduce that redness and flushed skin. It's got a real anti-inflammatory effect on the skin, and it helps to improve the skin barrier and skin immunity, which I think many people don't realise that Veinulo Special has that benefit. And for the body, it can help with poor circulation, capillaries and vein damage, spider veins and varicose veins on the legs. On the body, Veinulo Special can be used alone or in conjunction with the vascularteria. And for some people, they use that to treat their cellulite too, because it's going to get things moving. It's the mover and shaker, don't forget. So for Veinulo Special, the benefits, it has a real decongesting effect, which decongesting just means it's essentially reducing the buildup of the stagnation or the blood sitting in the area you want it to move through. So that's what it will actually help to do. And by doing that, it'll help to increase the circulation. So of course, when the circulation's increased, the nutrients are increased, being delivered to where they need to go to. It'll help to revitalize and regenerate the properties to help the capillaries and veins really restructure and be strong. If they're strong, everything will flow really well. It'll help to improve the immunity of the skin. And because of its ability with oxygen moving and the nutrient delivery, it's going to help manage pigmentation. It won't fix it, but it will actually help when you're treating the pigmentation concerns with your clients. It will also help with a lot of other congestion issues, people that have sluggish skin, people that maybe have a lot going on in their life, if they're stressed, if they're smokers, they're not sleeping well, all of those things will impact the immunity of the skin, and the Veinulo Special Plus will help to replace some of that damage. Now, within the Veinulo Special, we've got a really great ingredient that many people will know of called vitamin B3 or niacinamide. It's a really incredible ingredient that's been used in skincare and become very popular over the years. So I've just pulled it out a little bit here to talk a bit about what it actually does and why it's so important to have, and why Veinulo Special can be used for so many of your clients without you maybe realizing some of the bonuses that it actually has in it. So vitamin B3, it's part of the vitamin B group, and it's known for all of its benefits together. But on its own, vitamin B3 has a very, very strong anti-inflammatory effect. And by doing this, it'll help to reduce the redness and that flush look on the skin. It helps to restore the energy to the cells. It helps to repair any DNA that's been damaged in the cell as well. It'll fight the internal and external stresses, which they alone can lead to wrinkles and discoloration and sluggishness of the skin. It will help to control the pigment by preventing the transfer of pigment to the skin. So that's where it comes into helping be a part of a pigmentation protocol that you're working with your clients. Again, I'm going to keep saying it. It will help to improve the immunity of the skin, repair the skin barrier, and it will help with hydration and nourishment. And it will also make sure that the omega-3 content within the cells are also being utilized correctly. It also has the vitamin E, which is the antioxidant, which will help with the structural integrity of the intracellular elements and relieves capillary fragility, which we've talked about in strengthening the capillaries. Again, vitamin B7's here. We've got a biofiltrate of the lactobacillus casei. Now, this is really important for the skin barrier. It'll really help stimulate the cells, and again, will increase the mitochondrial metabolism, increase the oxygen turnover, and then reduce the effects of aging to the skin. Like Mito Special, it actually has a very similar content of amino acids, which will do so many of the jobs that we've just talked about there. But again, in terms of mitochondrial stimulation, it's also occurring within the Veinulo Special. How does someone use Veinulo Special at home? Well, it's ideally, again, used in the morning. Again, after they've cleaned their skin, they would spray the Veinulo Special on either to affected areas. If they're treating, say, capillary damage across the cheeks, they could just isolate it to that area, or they could spray it all over the face and neck and décolletage. And they would use anywhere between 2, 3, 4 to 6, 8 sprays, depending on what they're treating. Once they've sprayed it onto the skin, they would just massage it in, and then they could follow on with their treatment creams such as Vasco or Vital Transfer, and then follow on with their Synchro and Cytobi. And then, of course, their protection cream, and the perfect one when treating any skin that needs Veinulo Special, Geroxy would be ideal, or the Symbiose. Within the salon, again, you would clean the skin. If you have done a step of the preliminary treatment where we've done the Mito Special and the Immuno with the foil, and you've left that on for a few minutes, once you've washed that off, then you would spray the Veinulo Special Plus all over the face, extra onto the affected areas or any apparent capillaries, neck and décolletage, and then pat it into the skin. Follow with the treatment creams, massage with the Synchro, apply any extra nourishment like Cytobi and Cells Life, and then use your mask that's appropriate to whatever you're treating. So you might decide a cream mask, something like maybe a Genie, or a professional mask, ideally the Vegetel or the seaweed for all the added extra nutrients. Once that mask is finished, again, you would remove it with your fibrella or a beautiful warm compress and finish off your treatment with synchro, and then ideally, potentially the Geroxy for the added benefit of the circulation encouragement. If you wanted to use both of these in a treatment, you absolutely can, and so can your clients at home. There's a couple of ways that you could do it. Within the salon, you would clean the face, do the glyco and fibro. You would use the Mito Special Plus all over the face, neck and décolletage. If you wanted to here, you could also spray some Veinulo Special on and then apply the immuno mask all over the face, the neck and décolletage, and some eye mask around the eyes. And you would cover it with the polyester foil and leave it on. Now, with that step, if you didn't want to do the Veinulo Special then, you could leave it out and just stick straight to the Mito and to the immuno. And then once the mask comes off, you could then introduce the Veinulo Special here and spray that all over the face and neck and décolletage. You can gently pat it in everywhere and then massage it all over the face and neck. And then from there, you would follow on with your treatment creams. You might use Vasco and Mio Mioso and Vital Transfer, massage with Synchro, extra nourishment you might want to do with Cytobi, Cells Life, Nuclear, and then you would apply your mask, be it again a cream mask or a professional mask, hot towel it off when you finish, and then follow on with the rest of your Synchro and protection cream to finish off, and of course your sunscreen. Now, I would say to you, if you yourself have not used Veinulo Special in a while, I would encourage you to start using it within your routine. And for myself, some time ago, I hadn't been using it. I'd forgotten all about it. And I reintroduced it into the routine, using it every day. Not only did it make a difference to how all the other products worked, it smells so beautiful, the Veinulo Special, and it will really get your skin moving. So try it every day if you haven't done it for a while. And then when you're doing your own weekly masks at home, do the Mito Special and your Veinulo Special and see how it works for you. You will not be disappointed if you haven't done them for a while. So get Veinulo Special out, try it yourself, and that way you'll be able to talk to your clients more about it as you're feeling comfortable with it too. And that's it for today. Thanks, Lydia.
Thank you, Jemima. If you've got any questions, you can just unmute yourself and ask a question, or you can just type your question into the chat box. I've got a question, Jemima. You were mentioning that Veinulo Plus is good for decongestion, as in capillaries and pigmentation. But what about acne? Would it work on the acne as well?
Definitely, yeah. Because it's designed to have a nutrient exchange and get the oxygen moving, get the blood moving. When the blood's moving, there is more nutrients being delivered to where they need to go to. So if you are talking about acne that's very pustular, very angry, very inflamed, then on that, I would not do. Once it's settled itself down, once the angriness and the inflammation from the pimples has settled, then you could introduce it very gently. You might do 2 sprays over the whole face before you put the treatment creams on. And for some people, they might do that every day, or they might start off every second day first and just introduce it slowly to make sure it's not too active for the skin.
I'm just thinking that would be perfect for post-scarring, acne post-scarring, pigmentation. That would probably be perfect. Yeah.
Amazing. And again, for some time with GERnétic, we really kept Veinulo Special was more a conversation when we were treating the body. We sort of, over the years, it's sort of been stuck in the body element. We had forgotten to sort of bring it back into the face element. So that's why we wanted to cover it off, because the vitamin B3 content, and if you're using that in conjunction as well with a bit of the Mito Special, which is activating the mitochondria, you've got a perfect good storm that will ensure the cells are awake. The Veinulo Special's also getting things moving and shaking, getting things, activated and moving along gently. The results will speak for themselves. And of course, if the person with the acne is taking care of their stresses that are keeping them stressed, and they're asleep by 10 o'clock and they're eating really well, they're drinking a lot of water, they're doing all those other things and supplementing their diet, the Veinulo Special will be a really added bonus to their skin.
Sounds good. Can't wait to try it. Thanks, Jemima.
You're welcome.
Any other questions, ladies? I think that's that's all. Thank you so much, Jemima, for introducing us to those beautiful products. And thanks everyone who joined.
Maybe we should think about doing a Veinulo special challenge to everybody to see, maybe we could do something where we start with some photos before and after and see the difference in everybody's skin. Maybe I'll talk to you about that off air, Lydia.
Absolutely. Can't wait.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, everyone. And have a great week ahead.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Bye. Bye-bye.